Rúben Amorim's Sporting CP have been lethal in front of goal this season, averaging nearly 4 goals per game. His tactical setup focuses on fluid attacking football and relentless pressure on the opposition's defense. Sporting CP's devastating efficiency in the final third has made them one of the most exciting and formidable sides to watch this season. Here's how you can recreate Sporting CP's tactics in FC25. The preferred formation under Rúben Amorim has been the 3-4-2-1 system. Now this system is perfectly balanced. It can allow the side to attack with 5 players going forward as well as defend with a back 5 system, having the wingbacks be very instrumental in both the attacking and defensive phases of play. Now quite typically with this system you will see a 2-4-2-2 system formulate, having one of the central defenders stepping up and into the midfield zones, joining the likes of Hillman and forcing Morita higher up the pitch in order to try and add to the attacking passing sequences. This is mainly achieved by the stretch and the width generated from those wider areas of the pitch in Santos and Katoma, looking for them to try and stretch the play on a horizontal plane, opening up a lot of central space and allowing for your players to attack the half spaces very effectively. The Sporting CP team tactics will consist of a build-up style set to short passing. Amorim does demand that his centre-backs play those shorter passes into the midfield zones, allowing for them to create central overloads and look to overwhelm the opposition before firing the ball out wide. You will see a lot of passing sequences occur in that final third area in the central areas of the pitch, allowing for them to draw the opposition in before firing a pass into those wider zones and allowing them to create a quick cutback or crossing opportunity. At the same time, if Sporting CP do not find much success in these passing patterns, they'll look to create a side overload that could be down the left or the right hand side before looking to play a switch pass into the opposite flank where they'll have a lot more time and space on the ball and a lot more freedom to try and create an attacking movement from that opposite flank. The defensive approach for Amorim's side should be set to high, with the line height being set to 85. Sporting CP will often look to implement a dominant pressing structure, winning the ball back higher up the field and creating quick transition attacks. Now, as I've already mentioned before, they'll look to attack with a front line of 5 players, but they can also look to press in a very similar structure, looking to obviously clog pass lanes and win the ball back higher up the field, looking to break up any potential attacking build-up play that the opposition might be trying to initiate. Now, with this aggressive pressing structure implemented, you will often find that the opposition might be looking to clear the ball with a quick long ball over the top. Now, this is where your centre-backs will be very important in trying to win the aerial duels against the opposition, and even the wider players might be involved in a few aerial challenges themselves. As for the 2 midfielders in the central zones, they'll also be very involved in trying to win the ball back, clog pass lanes, intercept the play, and also look to press the opposition midfield zones. Now, of course, no system is perfect, and we saw against PSV in the Champions League that Sporting CP were left high and dry at times when the likes of PSV were able to execute passing sequences through their aggressive pressing structure. So you do need to be made aware of that, as the wider players can't always drop back in time and defend those wider spaces, and that can lead to a few gaps being created by the opposition in your backline regions. Progressing on now to the individual player roles, and we'll start off at the back with the goalkeeper in Israel, and he'll be set to the role of sweeper keeper, with the focus being set to balanced. This will see the goalkeeper leave his box and make his way higher up the field, either being an extra passing option with the aggressive builder play higher up the pitch, or potentially just looking to sweep up just in behind the aggressive high line implemented by Rúben Amorim. Now, with Amorim's system, it does require a goalkeeper that can play through the aggressive press implemented by the opposition, finding those short passes either into the midfield zones or potentially into the centre-backs. But if those opportunities have been nullified, you will see the likes of Israel looking to launch a long ball over the top into the forward line in order to create those quick transition attacking moments, bypassing the opposition's midfield. So moving on now into your defensive areas of the pitch, and the likes of Ignacio will be set to the role of ball-playing defender, with the focus being set to build-up play, and the same can be said for De Bast. You will see both of these players being very involved in the ball-playing abilities, looking to collect the ball from Israel and then play those line-breaking passes into the midfield zones. They can look to play those balls into the wider areas, but you want to try and use those wider areas slightly higher up the pitch, and you want to have the likes of Morita as well as Hillman get on the ball in those early phases of play. Now, with Ignacio as well as De Bast, they will be in charge of looking to cover the wider zones, looking to sweep up and protect the likes of Santos or Katamo against any potential aggressive runners in behind them in order to try and exploit their positioning. Another key element to their positioning will be their ability to out-duel the opposition forwards. When the opposition goalkeeper is looking to play that ball forward and into the frontline regions, you will rely on the likes of Ignacio as well as De Bast being able to step up and out-duel the opposition, looking to restore possession back in Sporting's favour. The middle centre-back in Diomande will be looking to bring the aggressive nature to this backline region, often looking to focus on the defensive structure implemented by Sporting CP, making sure that any potential through balls or maybe any potential runners in behind are snuffed out and nullified very effectively. Progressing on into your midfield zones, and the likes of Hjulmand will be set to the role of deep-lying playmaker, with the focus being set to defend. You will see the likes of Hjulmand being the deepest lying midfielder, at times looking to drop deep and collect the ball from one of the centre backs and then look to progress it further forward. He is key in looking to try and play those line breaking passes into the forward line. He will be one of the ball progressors in the side, often looking to try and break down the opposition's defensive structures on the edge of the box by playing those quick balls into the wider zones, or potentially those through ball passes straight and direct into the forwards. Hjulmand will also be very important in winning the ball back higher up the field, looking to assert his aggression on the opposition players, winning the ball back very effectively and restoring it back in Sporting CP's possession. Whereas his midfield counterpart in Marita will be set to the role of box-to-box, with the focus being set to balanced. This will allow him to successfully contribute to both the offensive and defensive phases of play. In one moment, you might see him stepping back a bit, looking to help defend, win the ball back very aggressively, and then look to transition with the rest of the attackers higher up the field, either looking to create or facilitate the offense, or maybe getting on the end of one of those movements himself and putting the ball in the back of the net. Out wide to your left and your right midfielders in Santos as well as Katamo, and they'll be set to the role of winger, with the focus being set to balanced. This will allow them to also contribute on both the offensive and defensive phases of play, allowing them to drop back at times and help formulate that back five system, or potentially stay higher up the field and be a creative outlet in those wider zones, either looking to facilitate a cross or a cutback opportunity in the box for the attackers. At times, you might see the likes of Katamo interchanging with the likes of Trensau, and that does have to do with his role and his focus going forward, but you will see him at times making an underlapping run, allowing for Trensau to function in that wider right zone. And speaking of Francisco Trensau, he'll be set to the role of playmaker, with the focus being set to roaming. You'll often see Trensau being able to drift into those wider right zones, combining with the right midfielder, or potentially looking to play just in behind the likes of Gyökeres and Goncalves, looking to be one of the chief creators and facilitators of the offense for the side. He might be on the edge of the box more times than not, where you will be able to successfully rotate the play with him, or potentially pop off a shot, or create another opportunity for one of the attackers. Now moving on to your other number 10 in Pedro Goncalves, and he'll be set to the role of shadow striker, with the focus being set to attack. This has become a key element to what Rúben Amorim expects from his front line, having the likes of Gyökeres and Goncalves combined frequently in those attacking final third areas, and you will see one in the box whilst the other one's on the edge of the area, and you will also see them interchanging those roles very efficiently. With the likes of Goncalves being able to operate in this space, you will see him either being able to drift into that wider left channel, looking to combine frequently with Santos or Morita, opening up a lot of central space as well, or potentially being able to get on the end of those crosses or cutback opportunities inside the box, looking to pose as an offensive threat. And last but not least, we will move on to the striker who has been one of the most complete forwards in world football over the last 2 seasons, and that is Viktor Gyökeres, who will have the role of advanced forward, with the focus being set to complete. Now in this role, you will see the likes of Gyökeres being able to have the freedom to drift into those wider spaces, look to run the channels very effectively using his pace in behind the opposition's back line, but you will also see him at times looking to drop off the opposition backline and be very involved in the attacking builder play in those midfield zones. Yes, the likes of Gyökeres can be a lethal goal scorer, but he can also be an asset when looking to create opportunities for the other attackers. You'll often see him looking to drift into the half spaces, receive a pass in those wider zones, and then fire a quick cutback across the face of goal into the possession of one of the other attackers, looking to square it successfully and have the ball in the back of the net. The link-up play that Gyökeres does provide in this front line allows for the likes of Sporting CP under Rúben Amorim to have that nice fluid approach. You will see him being able to lay those little flick-on passes around the corner, and then looking to run off the ball and into some open space, waiting for another player to potentially find him with a killer pass. The interchange that does occur between Gyökeres and Goncalves will be very effective in trying to keep the opposition on the back foot at all times, allowing for the one to drop deep and the other one to stay further forward, and vice versa situations will occur. And when in possession of the ball, this is the shape and structure that you will see. A 3-man backline unit, allowing for at least Inacio or De Bast to be able to step up into the midfield zones, joining the likes of Hjulmand on the odd occasion with that build-up play. And you will see Hjulmand being the deepest lying midfield player, as I've already mentioned, looking for him to collect the ball in those deeper zones and then play those line-breaking passes further forward, allowing him for at times to be the catalyst in the offensive structures. Whereas his midfield partner in Morita will have a slightly higher positioning, and you will see him interchange multiple passes with the forward line players and look to really help break down the opposition's backline units. Out wide, and you will have touchline wingers or touchline wing backs looking to operate in both the offensive and defensive phases of play very effectively, supplying crosses and cutback opportunities into the box. But that does not mean that they will not look to arc their runs into those attacking zones from time to time if the opportunities do present themselves. For Trincao, you will see him being able to at times drop a bit deeper, look to link up the play with Hjulmand and Morita in those deeper spaces, and also look to interchange with Katamo down that right-hand space, but he will be one of the chief creators in this side. Along with Goncalves, who will look to have a bit more of an advanced role and positioning in the system, looking to play off of the likes of Gyökeres and break into the box very effectively. And as I've already mentioned, the link-up play that Gyökeres does possess is second to none in the side, and he does look to sometimes drop off the backline, open up a bit more central space for the other attackers to work their way into, and he can look to link the play very effectively with the players in and around him, whilst also providing a goal-scoring threat in the box. So for the Sporting CP player assignments, the captain should be Goncalves, but if he's not on the field, the likes of Hjulmand will take the armband. The free kick responsibilities will be left up to the likes of Pedro Goncalves as well as Santos, and then of course for the long free kicks Goncalves, and I'd also know that Trincao can be involved in the free kick opportunities. For the penalties, I have set this to Gyökeres, as there have been about 4 or 5 penalties given to Sporting CP this season, and Gyökeres has taken every single one of them. For the left and the right corner kick takers, the likes of Santos as well as Goncalves will have those responsibilities as well. The likes of Santos whipping it in with a natural right foot in swinging attempt from that left-hand space, and the same can be said for the likes of Santos, a natural left-footed player who can deliver an equal cross into the box from that right-hand side. Now, the 3 key players that should be involved in those attacking movements in the box for the corners should be Inácio, Gyökeres, as well as Diomande, as they pose as the most offensive threats from those dead ball situations. And there you have it, people. That is how I'd successfully go ahead and replicate and recreate Sporting CP's tactics under the likes of Rúben Amorim. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to smash that like button down below, whilst also subscribing. That would be fan-damn-tastic. And of course, if you would like to join up with the Brom Squad Gaming Discord server, that would be great too. The link for that will be down below in the description. Click on it, join up. We chat everything real life football, we chat everything FC25 and all that good stuff. Anyways, we are going to hop on into some gameplay where we will discuss these tactics in more detail. Okay, people, Sporting CP versus Sturm Graz in the Champions League. Hjulmand and Morita looking to win the ball back in that midfield zone. Morita applying the pressure. Morita's won the ball back perfectly, and he does look to play it into Gyökeres, who does play a lovely straight through ball pass into Goncalves, who is being caught up. But Goncalves takes the shot on himself, and the goalkeeper gets close to it. Katamo, he's made a great run out wide from that right space. Is he onside? Yes, he is. He's looking to play the ball into the box. Gyökeres is there. It's a looping effort, and the goalkeeper does make a save, looking to combine with the right midfielder. The right midfielder looking for that cutback opportunity. And that's, I don't know what that is, but anyways, it is what it is. Into the right midfielder. The right midfielder takes a great touch, squares it, and look who's there. Victor Gyökeres. Beautifully worked, beautifully done. Execution to the highest level. Out wide into Santos. What can Santos do? He plays it into Morita. Morita plays a ball into Goncalves. Oh my goodness me. It's quick transition football. Santos squares it. And look, oh my god, how did I miss? Trincao, he's calling for the ball. Look at that. Into that wider right half space channel. Trincao, he's being caught up by the defender. Takes a little ball roll. Chips it to the back post area. Oh my god, it could have been amazing. Back into possession of Trincao. Trincao plays it into Goncalves. Tame effort, tame shot, not good enough there. Santos. Morita has played the ball in beautifully. Back post efforts. Goncalves. Oh my days. Great defending. I don't know if that was some good goalkeeping, but we've won the ball back, and it's just coming back in waves now. Wave after wave of attacking intent. Back post area. This time. Oh my god, you are kidding me. Gyökeres on target, mate. That could be 4 goals. He could have 4 goals if he just hit the goddamn target. Okay, so at the break, we have around 50% possession each. We need to improve that. Definitely looking after the ball a bit more, having the centre backs rotate the play in those backline regions. But we've had 7 shots, and from those 7 shots, we have an expected goals of 4.6, and we have 1 goal. We have 1 goal. Gyökeres, one of the best strikers in European football, has missed sitter after sitter. And I know nobody's perfect and it just happens. But Jesus Christ, man. God damn it, put the ball in the back of the net, mates. They have an expected goals of 0.0. They've had 1 shot. They've barely tested the goalkeeper. It was from a free kick. Man just caught it, and I was like, okay, it is what it is. Passes 54 to 51. So they have been able to work the ball and keep it and maintain it. We've been pressing very aggressively. Tackles 1, 6, interceptions 4, to 7 in Sturm Gratz's favor. So they've been very proactive in those passing lanes and making sure that they are trying to disturb and disrupt our offensive rhythms. They haven't been that great at it. We have only scored 1 goal, but the chances that we have created, they should have been put away. They should have been put away. Sturm Graz, they you know what? They got very lucky in that first half. The second half will be a totally different story. Good ball into Jokeris, plays it into Goncalves. Is he onside? He is indeed. Squares it back to Goncalves, and that time it's 2. That time he turns from goal scorer and goal misser to provider. Well, one back there from Goncalves, just looking to rotate it in the back line regions, playing that ball centrally. Looking for that line-breaking pass, Goncalves. Big ball over the top from Morita into Jokeris, who squares it yet again into the shadow striker. And Goncalves in the span of like 2 or 3 minutes has got 2 goals, and of course, Jokeris has got 2 assists. Looking to defend those wider spaces. We've done so perfectly. Santos doing a fantastic job at just being able to drop back and help defend. What can we do here? I see a long pass potentially over the top into Trincao. He goes for that quick pass into Jokeris. We've bypassed the entire midfield. Jokeris, provider, he fumbles in the final third. The right midfielder, he's looking for something. Just look for that ball rotation on the edge of the box. Perfectly done. Goncalves into Santos, and Santos forces a great save from the goalkeeper. Hold up play is elite. Pops off a shot from distance. Woo! That was looking tasty. That was looking spicy. Now, what can Goncalves do for the team? Back post area. Human's there! Oh my days, it had to be. Morita continues to play. Here we go. Square pass. Oh, you're kidding me, bro. The boss will look to pick up his wide attacker. Oh my days, that's a great cross. That's a great cross. It will be 4-1 at the end of the day. That's a great bit of attacking play, and that is how you might be able to exploit this backline area. Oh well, but there we go. A 4-1 win. It could have been a lot more. If Jokeris felt like putting the ball in the back of the net, he could have had at least 4 goals himself, and it could have been 8-1 at the end of the day. Okay, so our full-time stat read that we gained around 54% possession, so our possession stats did go up significantly in that second half, compared to the first half at least. Expected goals, 8.1. We created some goddamn amazing chances. They created 1 expected goal from their 2 chances. So that 1 shot that they took in the second half was an expected goal of 1. So it was a really good opportunity carved out and exploiting our backline. But in terms of the passes, 124 to 94. So you can see that in the first half, it was very similar in terms of the passing. I think we had 52 and they had like 47 or something like that. But the tackles though, 26 tackles. That is outrageous. That is incredible. But anyways, you guys will have to let me know what your thoughts and opinions are of these tactics down below in the comment section. Anyways, until the next time, until the next one, I hope you have a smashing goddamn day. And I'm out of here. Peace.